Welcome to WagerTalk TV, everyone. I'm your host, Minty Betts, here with Ralph Michaels at CalSportsLV on Twitter and Brian Leonard at BLeonardSports. Give them both a follow. This New Year's Day, well, the first day of 2021, we have a Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida. We've got the Auburn Tigers, through Martin's alma mater, versus the Northwestern Wildcats. The Wildcats favored by 3.5 here, and the total set at a low 43.5. Ralph, let's go to you first. What do you think about this game?
Minty, I had to look it up. Since 2013, there have only been 11 bowls with a total of 43.5 or less. They have gone 7-4 to the over. So I'm giving you that stat, but then I'm going to go the opposite way. So I just wanted you to know the information because it is such a low total. Normally Northwestern to me was an undefeated team that went to a Big Ten championship and lost. And 9 out of 10 times, I would fade that team, and they have been an absolute gold mine. When you have an SEC champion that loses and could have gone to the national championship game, we've seen so many flat appearances. That happens in and out. The difference is this. I really don't know if Northwestern considered themselves a playoff caliber team, being a 20-point dog to Ohio State. But I know that Pat Fitzgerald will have his team motivated. They are excited to play an SEC team. They are excited to go to Florida and play in the Citrus Bowl. And then on the flip side, you have an Auburn team. The Citrus Bowl was not their goal at the beginning of the year. Getting their head coach fired and having Kevin Steele as the interim was not their goal at the beginning of the year. But the defense does like Kevin Steele, and I think we will get a big performance, at least on the defensive side, for their DC/interim.
I hate playing unders, Ralph. Brian, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, Ralph hit on a lot of things I was going to talk about. Coming into the season, you would have thought that Auburn had a lot higher hopes than what Northwestern's had. So this is something that I agree. I think Northwestern's the team that's more excited to be here. Tigers going through that coaching change. There's good and bad in that. Obviously, the players want to have something good on tape for their final game before next season. That's something you can always take a look at. But secondly, as he pointed out, that to me at least, it was a surprise move for Auburn firing the coach here. So the team could come into this thinking that it was their fault, and obviously it was because they didn't play as well. But that's something you always got to take a look at. From a rushing edge, I think Auburn has the advantage here. They're at 0.4 yards per carry on the season to minus 0.9 for the Wildcats, who actually had performed very well against the run until they played Ohio State last week. And just Ohio State, I believe they had 9.1 yards a carry against the Wildcats. That is a concern. Northwestern's defense has a sizable advantage here in my estimation, but they did so against a weaker offensive slate of teams in the Big Ten. So obviously, the SEC is a better brand of football than the Big Ten this year. Obviously, we didn't get a chance to see it all because the Big Ten decided to join late. But I think this game, I lean towards Northwestern. I wish it wasn't the hook there on the 3, but that's the side I'm leaning with here.
All righty, Ralph, do you have anything else to add on to that?
Yeah, we saw Auburn. I think Auburn's going to take away the Ohio State game plan. I mean, we saw Justin Fields get hurt. We saw a new Big Ten record from Sermon. Takes Bigby's had 400-yard games rushing for Auburn. They are going to pound the clock. And again, that does lean to the over. And motivation-wise, just a couple other things to look for. Northwestern's playing for their coach for next year. Now Auburn's going through a coaching change. And when you're a player at Auburn, then you start hearing today, Brent Venables pulled his name out. He had his name in the Auburn. So when you're an Auburn team and coaches don't want to start coming to you, I think that's a negative as well. And I think the kids have to be affected by that. When you're not the first choice of coaches, and all of a sudden coaches are turning down the job from Auburn, there's something wrong there. And those are all the type of situations I think you have to look at when you're going through the holidays and when you're giving those intangible check marks handicapping a bowl game.
All right, good stuff, guys. There you go, folks. Get a 7-day all-access pass for any handicapper on WagerTalk.com or SportsMemo.com for less than $10 a day using coupon code HOHOHO. That's one word, HOHOHO. This even includes any $40 best